$180 through 3,000. 120 through 1,500. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Wealth Around Us. This is going to be a continuation of the Outside the Box Gear series we're doing. But this was a Christmas present that I'm having a lot of fun with. And this is a Ruixin Pro. Or Ruixin Pro. I think it's Ruixin because it's Chinese. I see Chinese alphabetical letters. So what it is a jig sharpening system. Now, let me back up a little bit here. One of the things that I get a lot of questions, oh, you keep your knives nice and sharp, and I do, because I had to spend a long time, probably, I'd say a good 20 years, before I'd learned the basics of getting a knife real super sharp, just by hand with like a hand sharpener. And, in essence, it's just mainly practice and knowing that you're taking off metal, and then the shape of your bevel and whatnot, all that has to be correct, and that's something that usually only comes doing it really well with time and a lot of practice. But this little piece of beautiful chrome-plated stainless steel kit destroys all of that. Okay, you can be a blithering idiot, and as long as you can put this thing together, it works beautifully. It doesn't have degree, markers. I'm going to actually mark the pole right there with like what kind of degree angle that equals out to on that end. But as you can see, it is fully breakable. That comes apart. This comes apart. This just, one little piece that big. This spring-loaded claw right here all rides one rail. This comes apart right here, so actually collapses into two. This is all like it. You just tighten it down and it stays there by itself. And how it works is this comes with mounting holes right here. But the only thing I could think to do with this is like, if you weren't going to take it with you backpacking and use it in this form as it is, maybe like nail it down to a log or something if you need some stability. I would like take a piece of pressure treated lumber or something like that, nice and planed and squared off so it sits flat, and I would just like nail on or tack on a leather strop like next to it, have a block of wood just for stability, because this thing it's just a work of art. For $27 we got this. Look on Amazon. One of the problems with this specific one, and it's not going to be called Ruixin Pro, you're going to want to look up Professional Knife Sharpening System for Stone. I mean, it's the website is really English, but I mean, other than having to get on Amazon and look at how the thing looked when it was assembled, it didn't come with any instructions. So I just got this bunch of what looked like parts to bolt on, a turbocharger to a 95 Geo tracker. And I was at a loss for a minute. I was like, oh, we're going to send this back. But, I looked at it online, and I actually got it together, and wow, just super, super impressed with it. A drop of oil right here and a drop of oil on the arm, something edible like canola oil or something like that, really helps smooth the action out and everything. But how this works is, and I'm going to show you, just try to do this one-handed. It's going to drag on me, so I'm not going to really try to force it around the counter. But it allows only like a certain angle of bevel cut. We've got 4 different grains. I'm just using the 120 because I'm breaking out every old knife I can find in the house, because we got fine knives, but all of them have been dishwashed all to hell, and they're so dull, literally, they can't. I mean, you couldn't pry one of your fingernails off with that thing. It's just pathetic. But then, look at the shiny new blades on those puppies. Look how sharp they are, and I'm talking cut piece of paper just like that, one-handed. And on the other side of that, now, when you are messing with knives that are that sharp, they're basically like big scalpels. So if you like slip and your finger's in the way, your finger's gone too, just like those papers. So do pay attention to that. Now, another thing I want to address is when you see, how many knives have I done? I've been going on a sharpening frenzy. I'm like, hide your keys, hide your nail clippers. I'm going to sharpen them. And everything in the house is like this. I mean, like I was cutting hard salami earlier with this old Henkel's. Or no, this is a Polish brand, I believe it is. No, it's German. Yeah, it's a Trident from Germany. Grand Prix knives, so we can race and cook at the same time. But the blades on these, I was able to cut that hard salami to like it was like translucent, like a butcher's one of those big buzzsaw, deli blade things, and it was just really entertaining because now, like I was saying, when you use like these steak knives we got now, the serrated steak knife. I mean, this on the dinner plate feels like a Dole Farm implement or something. It feels like I should be digging potatoes with it instead of like using it as a knife because these are like one pass. That's all it's cut. I forget what you call these right here, but as you can see that, and this is just the 4-stage. Now, another thing I wanted to address is that after doing like 20 knives, I mean, you get this. You see, how they collect a little bit of steel, like sandpaper will fill up with paint. When you're sanding paint off of it. It's not big. Just they say to use oil on it, but I don't think that's necessary. These are great stones, and just a little soapy water is probably all you need to do them. And then they clean right up with like a scrub brush. You just grab a scrub brush like this right here, some soapy water, and just scrub them off, and all that steel will come off them. They're as good as new. Now, that being said, these are stones like this, and if you take good care of them, they're going to last a very long time, and I know how to do that. But say we're using this thing because it can sharpen scissors too. The clamp system that it uses is a quick release, and they give you a choice of using the wing nut right here, which I don't know, that tears up my fingers, or the Allen. The Allen is a much better option because you can get it tighter, and it's not as much wear and tear on your hands, and it's faster. But that same clamp system can go down here too, and it can hold like chisels, scissors. It can do scissors. It can do just about any household implement with this thing, and it clamps it right down. And I mean, it's really steady. All you got to do is really just hold it like right there, and you can just make it so scalpel sharp that I don't think I'll have to sharpen these for like up to probably a year. I mean, they are just razor edged. And still got I found a few more. I was like, yay! So I'm going to sharpen them up too. We've got, geez Louise. All these, as you can see, those edges, like all of that. Every one of them just a frosty, brand new, seemingly better than factory edge. In fact, the only knife I've ever had in my life that I bought that was as sharp as I can get all these knives now with that Ruixin Pro is the first generation. I still carry it around to this day because I just made it like brand new, but the first generation Smith & Wesson SWAT is my daily carry, beater knife. It's all metal. It's made out of gunmetal. It's real tough, but it was a pain in the ass to sharpen because it had a funny bevel on it, and it had a funny it had a funny bevel, and the blade was carved on in a very funny way by some kind of like diamond wheel or something like that. But these are all way better now than even that Smith & Wesson SWAT was brand new out of the factory. I dropped a lemon onto it, and it cut it right in half, just the weight of the lemon falling on it. Cut it in half. Cutting paper test, no problem. Cut a whole pork loin up the other night, didn't get one problem with it. But just in case, I found another type of system, and I just noticed, I was like, wow, this is a nice, because people say this Ruixin Pro here, they say this is a knockoff of like an Apex 1 or something like that, and I believe it. But I got looking at the Apex system, and even though a lot of other people might swear by it, this one, it's fully collapsible, super lightweight, chrome steel, nothing to really go rust on. It's all stainless. Like I said, super light for backpacking. These stones are minimally heavy stones, so even all of these would probably be better than that horrible block stone sharpener that I used to carry in my bug out bag. Go with you, and you can get things like just about any knife you find just so damn razor sharp, it'll be the perfect knife for you. And this right here, these were $12 extra, but this one goes from 180 down to 3,000. So this is like, okay, the 4-stage system is scary enough. This 6-stage system right here, whetstones. Oh, that's gonna be like surgical scalpel territory. So this is gonna be real fun messing with these later on when these blades finally go out for the first time. I'm gonna whip these puppies out and get those super sharp. But yep, this has been outside the box. I'm sorry for my shaky photography and all that. I'm kind of wobbling around, but happy Christmas and happy holidays and everything. I know I was late. I was busy having some fun myself. So think outside the box and always remember, there's a wealth around you. Have fun. Stay safe.